guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Khaki, and today I am still in my PJs. I am barefaced. We're going to be doing kind of a get ready with me, but not just any get ready with me. In my last favorites video, I mentioned a concealer, and I sort of in passing said that it's the one thing that's kind of helping me cover my acne right now, which has been pretty bad. And I said, you know, if you guys want me to do a video on how I cover my acne, then, you know, just comment below. And you did, and so I'm going to. And full disclosure, my acne is actually a lot better than it was. So we are still going to have plenty to cover here. It's going to definitely be still kind of educational on the same level, but I do want to say that I don't think that this is like worst case scenario. If your skin is worse than this, hopefully these techniques will still work for you, but I don't think that I'm the victim of something awful here. Like, please don't be like, that's not terrible acne. It's like a week ago, it was horrible. I've been making a lot of changes in my life, and I think that it's starting to sort of gradually improve, but hopefully these will still translate. So without further ado, guys, let's get some makeup on my face. So this is also going to be kind of a minimalist makeup routine. Something about getting ready in the morning recently has made me feel like all I really want to do is just look kind of natural and barefaced. So I'm babbling, but let's just get started. So we're only going to be using a handful of products here. I am going to start with the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. I actually just kind of washed my face and didn't moisturize because I wanted to moisturize in the video, and my face feels real tight right now, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, and a really good rule of thumb that I kind of want to get across in this video is, in any makeup situation, wet sticks to dry, dry sticks to wet. So we all have those mornings where we wake up and we've got a zit that's literally wet. Like, all we have to do is just kind of rinse our face with water and it just knocks the tops off the stuff, and there's just stuff that's just like, it's just wet. It's not bleeding, it's just wet because it's like your skin's pissed off and it's just like, hey, I'm gonna ruin your day because I feel like crap. I like to powder those spots first so that whatever I put on top of it, liquid-wise, really sticks. So, going to start by doing that with some of my Studio Fix pressed powder from MAC. I know it seems a little crazy, but this is actually a powder foundation, so I mean, it's not that crazy. And we're not going to be using regular foundation today since it is kind of like a minimalist routine. Also, I find that if I use liquid foundation when I'm covering my acne, I just end up with too much makeup on my face. Like, everything slides around and it sort of all starts to get oily underneath and stuff. Like, the less makeup you can wear and the drier it can end up, the better. So that's kind of what we're going for here. And I do have a tendency towards dry skin. So trust me on this. This isn't going to leave you with that like peely, cling to everything on your face look. It's just going to give you a nice, like, not sliding around greasy look. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to touch my main kind of spots with this. We're not going to go all over the face. That is a perfectly good technique, but I'm actually not going to be putting makeup all over my face. So there's no real point in that. Kind of a big bad, guys. I never break out on my nose. I never break out on my nose, and I got like 3 on top of each other. What is this? This is like literally 3 on top of each other. This thing hasn't wanted to leave. Like, it's been here for weeks. I don't understand. But these are all in my hormone area. That's what this is right here. This is your hormone area around your mouth, sort of goatee area, sometimes on your cheeks. And that is just a sign of either hormone imbalance or stress. Yeah, put a little here where I'm kind of shiny. And that's kind of it in terms of just sort of like pre-mattifying everything before I put my concealer on, which is what we're gonna move on to next. Okie dokie! We're going to be going in with none other than the Tarte Shape Tape. This is my favorite concealer for mimicking skin texture. If you want to put something on your face that's still going to look like your face but better, this stuff is incredible. So I have it in light sand. There are so many shades. I highly recommend going to Ulta and actually color matching yourself. Don't try and order this online. All right, we're gonna start by just kind of put this kind of all over the place here. You don't need a lot. It's just like you can kind of put a little bit and then thin it out. Under the eyeballs. Cover my face psoriasis. This is so fun. I'm kidding. It's not fun. I wish I could just wake up and put Glossier makeup on every morning. There was a time and there will be a time again. But the season of my life right now is Acne. And I think that gives us, what, enough to kind of spread out. Zoobly Zoo face again. And we're using a dampened beauty blender here. All right, we're gonna use a pointy end. And the key here is to actually not move the product around that much. Just kind of dab in place. You can always take product off, but like trying to get it to stay where you originally put it is worth the effort because it just looks a lot more organic. Like, don't be too aggressive about sliding the product around. You'll end up with it all over your face and not where you want it, you know? I'm getting it around my nose here. The worst part about me breaking out is that I also pick a lot. Pick so much more when I'm anxious. My therapist is like, do you think it's an anxiety thing? I'm like, yeah, I think it's an anxiety thing. Oh my God. It's a manifestation of like, you know, momentary self-loathing and things of that nature. It's like trying to correct something that you think is wrong with you, metaphorically and then physically. You know, guys, I think that kind of my videos lately have been taking on a certain theme, and that is depression survival. So this is maybe going to double as sort of a depression survival makeup look. You wake up in the morning, your skin looks like shit, and you gotta go do your day. You gotta go survive. So this is how to not spend too much time on your makeup, feel presentable and not like you look how you feel, which is like shit, and it's minimal to low effort. Minimal to no effort. Okay, so we're covered, including my lips. And we're going to powder now. I'm going to start with some HD powder from Makeup Forever. This is just because I'm real pale right now. If I had a little bit of a tan, I would go straight to the Wowder, but the Wowder is a touch tan for my skin, and so I like to start with this and then just kind of put a little bit of this on top. I just love the finish of this stuff. It is just so natural and dewy looking. So use this to kind of, you know, mattify where necessary. This stuff is phenomenally awesome all on its own. You don't have to use both, but I use both just because my skin tends to like to let things slip around over the course of the day, and I feel like the extra layer of a really, really micro finish powder keeps things from kind of slipping into lines and just gives me a little bit more confidence. So the reason that I kind of, even though I don't have concealer or anything here, I'm kind of still putting it on my cheeks is because I'm going to put powder-based sort of blah, 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 blah. I'm going to put some more powder on my face, and I don't want it to cling to damp spots. All right, I'm gonna go with a little bit of powder because, like you can see, as you can see, this does leave kind of a more of a white cast on my face, and I like this because it brings back sort of the natural look of my skin. And I'm not going to put it everywhere. I'm kind of going to put it on the outsides of my face, you know? Almost like a bronzer, but a little more aggressive because it's clearly not a bronzer. But I'm not going to put it like directly on my chin. You know. Still, even though it looks like I put on a lot of products, there's not a lot of makeup on my face, which is a really nice feeling when the acne has already almost disappeared and everything still looks okay. So I'm going to go ahead and actually go straight to like cheek color right now because you want to save your final concealing to the final step, because blush and a brush like this will knock that off if we do it now, and you'll just end up having to do it again anyway. So going to move on to a multitasker that I love. You guys, if you've ever watched any of my makeup tutorials, you will recognize this product. This is the Too Faced Pink Leopard Blending Bronzing Brusher. Blushing bronzer. And it's great for people like me who don't really get a natural tan, so bronzer doesn't look super realistic on me, so that it has a little bit of a pink tint and a little bit of shimmer, but I can still see my freckles through it, makes it look a lot more believable. So I kind of go ahead and put this almost everywhere. Not like right on my chin or like, you know, all over my entire middle of my face, but kind of almost everywhere. I'll do one side, and then you guys, like, look at that. Look at that difference. It's like, alive, dead. Alive, dead. I'm going to put a little bit on my nose because that's what the sun would do if I ever actually had any positive reaction to the sun other than burning. Put a little bit under here because that's like, you know, your contour or whatever. Put a little bit right there because you have a weirdly shaped face and there's like a, I don't know, there's like a bulge right here. And kind of take it down your neck a little bit. And we might come back to it. Who knows? Being tan makes you look healthy, and being more tan makes you look more healthy, right? That's math. Then we're going in with my, you guys, I have had this actual pan of blush since 2009, okay? I have been using this NARS Exhibit A for 8 years. Okay? Oldest piece of makeup that I own, have not hit pan yet, and that is because, look at this, I'm going to just touch it. Just touch it. And it gives me this beautiful natural flush to my cheek. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it. I think it would look good on just about anybody, but you literally, like, you just whisper it, and then you go really gently on the cheeks. This is a good example of a product where, like, you have to have your skin powdered underneath, because if this grabs on to a sort of, like, moist spot on your skin, it's over. Like, you gotta start over. This was actually probably my first piece of, like, really luxury makeup that I ever bought. And it was $27 at the time. I think they're up to like 30 now. And I remember the girl at the counter at Nordstrom was like, I was like, I have never paid that much for blush in my life. And she goes, this is gonna last you years. And I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, sure. It's high quality. It's concentrated. It's fine. I did not count on it lasting me till 2017 and beyond. So, money's worth. Because I've been through several pans of like NARS Orgasm. Like, that is not as, it's not designed to be as concentrated of a pigment, but this is like the most perfect coral red. And honestly, I think it's more cost effective than buying a NYX blush of the same shade that you have to use a lot of. So, I also like to kind of go right on the tip of my nose. Well, not that much. Oh boy, take a powder brush and knock a little bit of that off. Because it makes me kind of, I look a little bit like an elf already. And I like to kind of channel that a little bit. Just sort of like, I don't know, play to whatever angle of like cute youth I can. And if elf is that level of cute youth, whatever, I'll take it. And then I'm gonna scratch my neck and I'm gonna turn it red, because that's what happens if I scratch something, it turns red. I'm going to take some of the Becca by Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop, and I'm actually, this is absurd, it's all broken. I'm going to take, like, you know, what's on the mirror basically, and I'm just going to evenly distribute that on my face and just go for it. Because this is what's going to be the finishing touch on your base that makes everything look dewy-ish. And if you ever watch me on camera as I turn, it looks like I've got, you know, highlighter right there. But you don't have to do that stupid stripe of highlighter. You can use just a whisper of highlighter all over your whole face, and then you end up with kind of like a natural glow. You don't have to do that, like, highlight contour strobing bullshit. Like, you can just kind of put, like, if it's a really nicely finely milled one, you can just put it on your whole face. Okay? Makes it easy. I'm gonna take the tip of my beauty blender here and just kind of clear out where it's trying to gather, right here, and right here, and right here, because y'all, I got rankles. Now, you can see we still have some spats. Some spats where it's not wanting to cover and it's discolored. And honestly, even if you're on a good skin day, but you've had a past of having acne, you probably will still have some discolorations that you want to cover, and that's where this bad boy comes in. This is the Makeup Forever Full Cover Camouflage Cream, and this shit is not fucking around. That's probably too much. I think this thing is like 30 bucks or something, like it's a lot, but I've been using it forever. It has like the most concentrated pigment to it, and I barely need any. So, on our spots, and not just spots, also like my melasma and stuff like that, like I want to kind of just make sure that that's a lighter color. Powder just won't do the trick. You gotta kind of just do one of these. Hey, it disappeared. Bye, bitch. Yeah. And just with the gentlest tap. So yeah, here, and then all along my melasma, And then we're also gonna do this guy, because he's crazy looking. Ooh, God, there's a lot. There's a lot of acne on my nose. Wow. And I'm kind of using my finger to sort of like press out any spots that I think might be a little too kind of like heavy in terms of makeup. Like, I just don't want it to all start to gather over the course of the day. I cover my psoriasis. Hey, buddy. So that is the concealing part. I am probably going to go ahead with whatever little remnants I can get on this brush and just dust over my chin again with a little bit of the Becca by Jaclyn Hill, because I still want the whole of my face to look dewy, you know? You don't want to just have these like matte spots. And we will use a setting spray, and that'll help. First, I want to do my eyebrows. So I've been using the Precisely My Brow pencil by Benefit, and it is in shade 5, because I have very dark eyebrows and I like them that way. And I just go ahead and draw in sort of a little hair situation. Sort of fill them in just a little. This is a brow heavy look, you know? You kind of just want to accentuate what you got going on. I'm gonna go for like cheeks, brows, and a little bit of lip. But eye makeup is not the focus of this. I don't want to do like a bunch of eyeshadow and eyeliner and stuff like that. Especially because if this is still qualifying as some kind of depression survival makeup look, the last thing you want is a bunch of eye makeup on when you might cry at any given time. So we're probably going to be staying real safe on that. Okay, so we've got my eyebrows penciled in. I'm not going to use the spoolie because I don't think I put too much on. The spoolie I use in emergencies. I don't use it to just kind of spread everything out because that's not the look I'm going for. Next, you guessed it, I'm going to be using my Glossier Boy Brow in brown. It is the greatest. It is the most holy grail brow pomade situation. I wear it alone a lot. I often just don't care about penciling the brows in. What is in my nose? I start kind of in the middle of my brow here so that I don't over distribute it right in the center. And then once I've got, you know, a little bit of it off that spot on the brush, I will kind of hit that spot in the front. And then I turn the brush over because there's actually product still on the other side. Same thing with like a mascara wand. And I do the same thing. Sometimes I'll even let it dry and go in with another coat because I just like to have groomed eyebrows, you know? I like the power brow. Now, I'm going to give us a spritz before we go in with any mascara or anything because we all know what happens when you put water on mascara. Just a little bit of that. Oh, this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I live and die by this stuff. I've tried a lot of different finishing sprays for my face, and this one is my favorite. It's not cheap, but it works really well. What am I going to dry my face with? How about this coloring book photo that my friend Eric made me a really long time ago. This says Make a Tiara from Twigs, and it says Queen of the Woods. Thanks, Eric. I need to bring Eric back on my channel. He did a video with me a really long time ago that you guys should definitely go and find and watch, and it's the Bean Boozled Challenge. It was one of the most fucking fun videos I've ever made, and I love him so much. He's like one of my oldest friends in Austin, and we never see each other because he just travels for work all the time, and so I think that we are supposed to be actually penciled in. I think he has his birthday soon, and we're supposed to be penciled in to actually hang out sometime soon. I'm going to strong-arm him or guilt him or whatever into doing another video with me. You guys should tell me what kind of challenges you want me to do if I have like a friend on my channel or something, because I used to do a lot of collaborations. I used to be able to bring a lot of people onto my channel. For whatever reason, most of my friends now, they just kind of don't want to be on camera, especially my boyfriend. He's like, no. If you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know. Okay, now we're going to go in with some mascara. I actually hated this mascara when I bought it, and it is the Maybelline Pumped Up Colossal Volume Express Waterproof. Why do I like it now? Because it's waterproof and it's the one that I have on hand. And guess what? I've been crying a lot. And so I have been wearing waterproof mascara because, well, the only thing worse than crying at work is everyone knowing that you cried at work. This is how I keep my shit together, sort of. It's not a bad mascara. It's not as good as other mascaras that I've used. I'm not a huge fan of the wand. It's really spiky. Not sponsored by Maybelline, can you tell? Did I just get that on my eyelid? It's possible. I try really hard not to get it on my eyelid. I hate that look. I hate the look of where the little spines went through your eyelashes. I don't know. The dumbest stuff bothers me. But already, I look a little bit more awake. A little bit more like I give a shit. So next, I think we should do lips. And by do lips, I mean, you know, just take the concealer off of them and put something human looking on top. I have been liking a little bit more lip lately. I haven't been tanning as much, and by tanning I mean self-tanning. I don't actually tan. And so I like to give a little more emphasis to my lips and my cheeks to make myself look a little bit healthier. How many times have I said that today? So I did share with you guys a couple of my favorite fall kind of lip gloss color situations, but another one that I've been loving lately is actually the Buxom, surprise, surprise, Buxom Margaret. And it is just a sort of more pigmented taupey shade, but it still has the same lovely plumping properties. Oh, a human touch to the lip color. And then we'll just take this and put it on the bottom lashes. I just don't like to do both because then it just gets everywhere. And by both, I mean both at the same time. Double checking to make sure there isn't something glaring on my face that's been bothering you guys this entire video. Like, hey Khaki, you didn't blend your concealer in that one spot and I haven't heard a word you've said since. That, guys, is actually the final look. This is usually how I go to work every day or anything. Like, it just makes me feel like a human being and like I give a shit, and it's actually incredible. On a totally serious note, it's actually incredible how much a difference it can make to just take a little bit of time and put yourself together in the morning. I think this is gonna end up being kind of a longer video just because I don't stop running my mouth, but this actual makeup look takes me about 10 minutes in the morning and it can make a huge difference. I just don't like going out and facing the world with sort of what I think of as like a preconceived notion for everybody to take in, like having that just acne look all over my face. Like there's just something about that where, you know, you do you. If that's something that's fine with you, then that's fine. It should be fine with anybody. But for me, I just think that people think I probably look ill and like I'm not taking care of myself, which might be true. So the best I can do to kind of, you know, mitigate that initial sort of perception, the better. Plus, if I catch a reflection of myself, it's almost like I'm convincing myself that I give a shit, and that's, you know, like one step towards giving a shit. So hopefully this hasn't been too much of a bummer, guys. I use humor to offset negativity, so if you guys are like, wow, is she okay? Like, I'm okay, and I'm doing a lot better than I was. If you haven't watched my health check-in video, watch that and understand that I've come a long way even since then. So things are improving. And if any of you guys has anything going on in your life, feel free to direct message me. I'm not the suicide hotline, so if like that's where you're at, go to the professionals. But if you kind of just want to chit chat about that kind of stuff and be like, hey, I know where you're coming from. I feel the same way too. Here are my issues. What do you think? Whatever. Like, talk to me on Instagram. Talk to me on Twitter. I'm at HEYKACKIE on both of those. And if you guys enjoyed this, give it the old thumbs up, because, you know, there are plenty of people who just need a little break and could probably use a little humor in their life. So, you know, pass this video along if you think somebody else would like it. And if you want to keep hanging out with me, guys, I promise it's not going to stay like this. We are going to be happier on this channel eventually, but I can't, there's no way for me to do insincerity with you guys. I just don't want to come off phony. And so, yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you want. And guys, I love you. Thank you so much for sticking with me and for understanding me and allowing me to understand you better. And I will talk to you as soon as possible, guys. Bye.